It's never-ending bullshit, guys. It's Donald Trump is never-ending bullshit. Okay, Beans is about to walk in front of the fucking camera, okay? He's probably shaking the whole thing. Beans, I'm gonna need you to fucking get out of the way. Beans, this is the type of shit that you fucking do far too often. Oh, god damn it. Anyway, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Valenti VOD. It's your boy, Chris, and I have far too much shit to talk about. And I mean that. Guys, the news cycle is disturbing now because, Donald Trump back in 2016, he was just tweeting every fucking day. But now he's like passing executive orders, getting new legislation through. The guy is actually dismantling our nation. Okay, and the amount of shit that I have pulled up for today's episode is astronomical. Okay, and I'm gonna try to go through all this shit one by one, but I mean, I can't even fathom the stuff that I'm about to say to you guys. Here, Donald Trump is creating a concentration camp in Guantanamo Bay, which was already shut down in the first place. Okay. And this concentration camp is designed to hold 30,000 migrants. And we've got I got some notes about it right here, guys. I'm going to pull it up for you. This is from USA Today. According to Washington, President Donald Trump ordered his administration Wednesday to begin preparations on a detention facility at the U.S. naval base at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, to house up to 30,000 migrants detained for being in the U.S. without legal authorization. Now, guys, a couple of things that you need to know about Guantanamo Bay, or Gitmo, which is what I'm going to be calling it for the rest of this. If you don't know this about Gitmo, I'm going to tell you now. Gitmo, when you're in Gitmo, you are not under U.S. jurisdiction. And historically, the people that we throw in Gitmo are enemies of the state. Luigi! And enemies of the state are not privy to the human rights protections provided by the Geneva Convention. This is why we had a huge problem with torture in Guantanamo Bay, because you were allowed to torture people, or what do they call it? They gave it some ridiculous name called like aggressive interrogation tactics, which is just slang for fucking torture. But also, I don't know if you're aware of this, Gitmo is designed to hold 800 people. I'm going to say that again. Gitmo is designed to hold 800 people, and Donald Trump wants to house 30,000 migrants in Gitmo. Okay. Now, the most important part about this is that you have to combine Donald Trump wanting to put 30,000 migrants in Gitmo with the newly passed Laken Riley Act. Now, if you don't know about Laken Riley was a young woman, 22-year-old woman who was, violently beaten and then brutalized and then murdered by some undocumented immigrant. And that's terrible, right? But you're a smart person. I'm sure that you understand that one fucking criminal does not represent the entirety of undocumented immigrants. Did you know that 99% of school shooters are white Christian men? Does that mean that all white Christian men are destined to be school shooters? No, and you understand that. Why? Because that's fucking common sense. Regardless, this new Laken Riley Act was just signed by Donald Trump, which gives federal authorities broader power to deport immigrants in the U.S. illegally who have been accused of crimes. Keyword is right there, ladies and gentlemen. Accused of crimes. Now, after doing a deeper dive into this Laken Riley Act, it actually revokes your right to a judicial process, a court case in front of a jury of your peers, if you are accused of committing a crime as an undocumented immigrant. So what this means, essentially is that if a U.S. citizen is aware that somebody is an undocumented immigrant, they do not need proof that that undocumented immigrant committed a crime in order to get them deported, or at least detained by ICE. All they have to do is accuse this person, and this is already written into law. And the craziest part about this is that it's a bipartisan act. It had support of fucking Republicans and Democrats, because the Democrats are capitulating and bending the fucking knee because they're so scared of actually adopting progressive policies. Now, this is just some of the stuff that Trump has done since I put out my last video yesterday, guys. This is what I mean about the news cycle. What Donald Trump likes to do is he overflows you with information. That way you forget about what he did last week. Like, there's never going to be any repercussions for him releasing 1,600 violent insurrectionists back into the country. I mean, one of them was already killed by a police officer in a shootout. The other one was already arrested for, like, sex crimes, right? This type of shit, it's going to keep on happening. Now, in other news, you know, we know Donald Trump is the president, but he also has a puppet master. Donald Trump is the puppet, but the puppet master is Elon Musk. And we have some insane news, actually, which is coming directly from high-ranking Treasury officials. The high-ranking Treasury official, David A. LeBrick, he's like a career politician within the U.S. Treasury. Now, if you don't know what the U.S. Treasury is, that's where we keep our trillions and trillions of dollars that go into federal funding, right? And Elon Musk got the highest ranking official within the U.S. Treasury fired because Elon Musk is also the new god king of this nation. And Elon Musk wanted access to these funds that had trillions of dollars, most likely so that he could use that money to fund his new Doge department, right? Which is just the modern version of the Gestapo. Musk allies wanted access to the system responsible for dispersing trillions of dollars in federal payments annually as part of Doge. The Treasury career staff saw that request as highly unusual, and they most likely denied that request. Then, just like a hissy fit, whiny little bitch fucking robber baron piece of shit that Elon Musk is, he got David A. LeBrick fired. This guy has been a career politician since 1989, and now he is no longer the acting Treasury Secretary. Now, I also don't believe that there's a coincidence with Elon Musk being able to fire this guy who's in control of federal funding, and also the random freezing of hiring all federal employees and the freezing of federal funding for things like Medicaid and food stamps. Which is funny because the people who benefit the most from things like food stamps and Medicaid and disability checks, they're Republican voters. They're blue-collar workers, people who live in red states. Those are the ones who get the most from disability checks and Social Security and welfare, right? And yet Donald Trump has tapped into the failure of the U.S. education system to get these people to vote for their own fucking demise, which is also, I made a video about, like, the gays for Trump, guys. Something else that's on the board is that, and we talked about this in my last video, is Obergefell v. Hodges, this U.S. Supreme Court case that legalized gay marriage. It's up for grabs. You know, there's Republican congressmen who are asking the Supreme Court to reevaluate the legal definition of marriage and to see that they're literally trying to overturn gay marriage. I can't believe it's come to this. I mean, guys, MAGA, if any of you are in here, you're out of time. You got to jump ship. You got to jump ship. You're not on the wrong side of it. You are on the wrong side of history, but it's not about being on the wrong side of history. You are on the wrong side of humanity. Most of humanity is against you now. Let's move on. I'm sure, as you know, in D.C., some fucking Black Hawk helicopter with like 3 fucking soldiers on it crashed into a American Airlines plane that had like 60 people on board. Nobody survived. And what's hilarious about that, it's not hilarious, but what is hilarious is instantly Donald Trump blamed it on DEI. He blamed it on diversity, equity, inclusion. He blamed it on, like, gay people and black people. I'm not even kidding. We have the video here. I'm going to pull this up. If you hear crunching in the background, that's Luigi playing with some sort of toy. I'm going to grab that while I play this video for you.
Have more to say about that. I do want to point out that various articles that appeared prior to my entering office, and here's one. The FAA's diversity push includes focus on hiring people with severe intellectual and psychiatric disabilities.
Oh, my God.
That is amazing.
That is amazing. He's like a fucking old grandpa reading an AI Facebook news story. So also, guys, that's not true. Let me explain something to you. If you think that there are people out there with mental disabilities that would render them incapable of being an air traffic controller. Those people exist, right? But if you think those people, the ones who are incapable of doing it, are in charge of air traffic controllers, I can't explain how stupid you are. You're an idiot. That's not real. That's not happening. When it comes to DEI within the FAA or air traffic controllers, they're talking about how it's a white-dominated field, predominantly male-dominated field as well. It has nothing to do with, do you think they have fucking people with Down syndrome in charge of air traffic controllers? Is that what you guys think DEI means when it comes to the FAA? Let's keep on fucking watching this stupid asshole.
It says FAA says people with severe disabilities are most underrepresented segment of the workforce, and they want them in, and they want them, they can be air traffic controllers. I don't think so. This was in January 14th, so that was a week before I entered office. They put a big push to put diversity into the FAA's program.
Absolutely none of what he's saying is true.
Then another...
And also, I want to talk about, like, this tweet. Look at this fucking guy throwing tricks on. I don't know who this guy is, but he's a fucking loser. President Trump just eviscerated the FAA and blamed their incompetence on their DEI practices during his press briefing on the D.C. plane crash. Holy crap. Trump also called out pothole Pete Buttigieg, saying he had a good line of bullshit. He's run the FAA right into the ground with his diversity. And then the responses are even funnier. Gosh, it feels great to have a real leader again. So freaking refreshing. Trump's not pulling any punches. He's on a mission and he doesn't give a fuck what the critics say. Yeah, he has no time for the bullshit. These guys are such fucking losers. You're telling me that you saw a helicopter fly into a plane and you're going to blame gays and blacks? You saw a helicopter fly into a plane and you're going to blame the gays and the blacks. Are you being fucking for real? Unbelievable shit. Let's keep listening.
Article, the Federal Aviation Administration. This was before I got to office. Recently, second term. The FAA is actively recruiting workers who suffer severe intellectual disabilities, psychiatric problems, and other mental and physical conditions under a diversity and inclusion hiring initiative spelled out on the agency's website. Can you imagine? These are people that are,
the fucking president of the United States sees a tragedy where 60 plus people fucking die, they perish, they land in the goddamn ocean. And not only is his first response to blame it on DEI, but get this. Listen to this loving Christian man's response when asked about visiting the crash site.
Do you have a plan to go visit the site or meet with any of the first responders?
I have a plan to visit, not the site, because you tell me, what's the site? The water?
Or to meet with the first responders down there.
I want you to imagine that your daughter fucking perished on this flight. And you listen to the President of the United States being asked if he would go visit the site in which the disaster happened. And his response is, you want me to visit the site? What do you want me to do? You want me to go in the water? What do you want me to go swimming? This guy is such a piece of shit. And to the rest of, MAGA, especially Christian MAGA, this is your loving Christian man. This is your loving Christian leader. This is your supreme fucking leader.
I don't have a plan to do that, but I will be meeting with some people that were very badly hurt with their family member, obviously, but I'll be meeting with some of the families, yeah.
With people that were very badly hurt, nobody survived, Donald. Holy shit, I don't think he knows anything about what happened. He just blamed it on DEI because he's trying to cover his ass for firing like 300 FAA employees. This is also a big news story, guys. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but Donald Trump the Trump administration, they fired like 300 high-ranking advisory members of the FAA, and part of that federal freezing program froze hiring for the FAA. That specific air traffic controller that was in control of where the crash happened, there were supposed to be 2 people there, not 1, and this happened literally days after Trump fucking fired all these people. So here's what we got for you here. It's from Time Magazine. Just days before the crash, President Donald Trump enacted a sweeping shakeup of federal agencies responsible for aviation oversight, removing the administrator of the Transport Security, the TSA, eliminating all members of Key Aviation Security Advisory Group, the FAA, which regulates airlines. So Donald Trump, he's literally dismantling like the federal government's control over the FAA, probably because he wants to put some billionaire in charge of it. Luigi, come here! I'm sorry about yelling like that, guys, but you can probably hear Luigi barking in the background. She's trying to chase the dog. I forgot to shut the gate. That's my fault. But yeah, guys, this is what we see all the time, which is that Donald Trump, or this is really what we see from fascists in general, is that something goes wrong that is directly tied to their own mistakes, and they will blame it on minorities, right? It's one of the better, it's exactly what the Germans and the Italians did. It's the best way to, use anger and hatred from your people and turn it away from the actual people who are responsible for the tragedies, who are, the billionaire class, the elite, the fucking politicians who don't give a shit about anything other than profit. Oh, that was Luigi probably getting hit by beans, and she probably deserved it. Yeah, now you're going to run away. That's what I thought. So also, I've got some more shit for you guys, because it all goes back to Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk fucking tweeted out, because a congresswoman talked about how Donald Trump froze the hiring of federal employees, including air traffic controllers. Now, this is true, but if you don't know anything about X or Twitter, it got rid of fact-checking and replaced it with a thing called community notes, which is just like regular users on Twitter can add their community notes to be like, actually, that's what community notes are. It's actually, if you hear Luigi running in the background, I'm really sorry about that. You're just going to have to ignore it for a little bit. But we're just going to be louder. So Donald Trump, he did that. That is true. And the community note says, actually, federal air traffic controllers are exempt from the hiring freeze. This was immediately disproven from their own fucking members of the House Committee. The high-ranking members of the House Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure have the fucking receipts right here on the usajobs.com. So you can go back, look. At the time of the crash, there was no explicit carve-out for the FAA ATC controllers exemption to go through OMP before it was active. They froze the hiring for FAA jobs on the website. Okay, this is the same thing that the Trump administration did when they said that no, we didn't actually freeze any of the funding for Medicaid, when it was immediately proven by states legislators and senators who came out and said, no, actually, believe it or not, the White House is fucking lying to you. None of our federal employees can access the Medicaid portals and the Medicaid websites. The White House is fucking lying. The President of the United States is fucking lying, okay? And Elon Musk is the one pulling all the fucking strings. Oh, Jesus, it never fucking ends. I have another insane story for you. This is what I said earlier about Donald Trump just says more and more insane shit to hide the last previous shit that he said. Trump fucking said that $50 million was spent on sending condoms to Gaza. And it's just not true.
In that process, we identified and stopped $50 million
Luigi
sent to Gaza to buy condoms for Hamas. $50 million. And you know what's happened to them? They've used them as a method of making bombs. How about that? In that process, we identified and stopped $50 million.
Guys. Absolutely none of that is true. It's not true. And it's not even a good use of a lie, as Ed Krasenstein on Twitter pointed out. The Trump administration said $50 million in condoms. That's 2,000 condoms for every male in Gaza over the age of 15. There ain't many of them left, considering Israel keeps on fucking killing them all. Like, what is the point? What is the fucking point of creating a lie this insane other than what I'm telling you, which is to drown out the real shit that you're doing in the background, like trying to repeal birthright citizenship, trying to run for a third term, trying to set up a concentration camp in Guantanamo Bay, trying to deport actual U.S. citizens because of their birthright citizenship, trying to allow Elon Musk, an unelected billionaire fucking oligarch, to have access to the U.S. Treasury in order to fund his bullshit Doge department. What the fuck is happening? I don't even know if like there is a way out. I mean, even it doesn't matter. We're gonna keep on fighting. We're never gonna stop fucking fighting. Okay, guys, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you comment down below. Hit that notification bell. If you want to donate, you can donate me some money. I got pretty much no fucking ads and no sponsors. So your help is much appreciated. I love you very much, and have a good one. Thank you for watching.